you say, no, I can't do this, then you won't know if you're a leader. So leadership starts from when somebody is young. They are able to take responsibility. They are able to lead. They cook for everyone. They are able to clean the house for everyone. They are able to wash clothes for everyone. A leader is one that is who thinks about other people. A leader is not themselves. It's selfish. The leader is one that has a heart for other people. So a leader is beginning to lead by considering other people. But if someone is not considerate of others, they are selfish, then that one is not a leader. A leader should be sacrificing. Yeah. A leader does things for others, not for themselves. Yeah, I can see you have a question.
No, not really a question. I just want to contribute on what you have just said. Yeah. In remembering our former Dr. Kaunda taught us that true leadership is not about power, but about service, sacrifice, unity, and purpose. Yeah.
Sacrifice. Say that again.
Sacrifice, unity, and purpose.
Powerful.
Yes.
So, like I said, that a leader sacrifices.
Yes, a leader must be sacrificing. There are some leaders, I've seen this even in different companies. They say, me, I'm a leader because I'm a boss. I can't do that. I can't do that. You have to lead by example. You have to sacrifice. Like you. Yeah, you always sacrifice. You're a good leader. Yes, yeah. You're a good. Nice. You are a good leader. Yes, I've seen that in you. Okay, you're a man who sacrifices. You always lead by example. You always, even me, you give me that motivate of becoming a leader. I can feel it that this is nice. You're having such a good leader with a good heart.
I learned from our boss. Our boss sacrifices.
Yes, our boss always sacrifices. Is a good leader. Actually, it's good to appreciate someone. Wow. If you know that you have somebody who is doing better, don't keep it with yourself. Show it out. Appreciate that person. Being a good leader or having a good leader, it's not something easy. It's a blessing on itself. Having a good leader like you and our CEO, it's a big blessing that we have. Yes, because as I said earlier, there are some people just because he's a boss, is a leader, you can't control them. They know everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I get you.
a leader is not just about leadership is not just about just because you have money. Is about service, sacrifice, unit, and purpose.
Service, sacrifice, unit, and purpose. Yeah. Yes, that's. I mean, you quoted Dr. Keke. That is what was happening. You know, Keke was one. Even as we remembered him on the 28th, the Keke Day.
Yeah.
It's where the man was so humble. You know, he was president, but even most of his children. Actually, all his children also learned that humility there. They went to government schools, and they did everything like any other ordinary child. So for them, it wasn't like because they are at State House, then they behaved like that. No, for them it was sacrificial. So that is a kind of leadership that Keke demonstrated. Of course, humanism. Humanism is where you're considering others, not just yourself. Where you have Ubuntu, where where you work as a team. So it's in Tanzania they call it Ujamaa. Like where people are working together as a team. So you are a united force when you work together as a nation, as a church, as a family, as a community. When people are united and working together, then you see results. But if you are divided, there isn't that unity, there isn't that peace, there is conflict. When there is division, people are fighting, people are then you find that it becomes difficult to lead. And a leader who finds himself or herself in an environment that is not peaceful, an environment that is not good enough, then they fail to lead. So you can only lead where there is tranquility, where there is peace, where there is harmony, there is unity, then you thrive as a leader. But if there is confusion, then you can't survive. You can't thrive. So leadership must be operated in a place that is quiet, a place where there is support, a place where there is what did you say? Sacrificing, and all this put together. Then they make sure that leadership and the vision now is propagated, and then people follow through the leader's vision, because it is well explained and well outlined. Then the people follow like that. So this is what we're seeing about leadership.
Yeah.
Yes.
So dear viewers, hope we are enjoying it. Because in this ambitila inefingi pano, because I'm kind of a girl who wants to be a leader, who wants to be a leader in future. So a leader must have a good heart, the art of caring. Yeah, the art of loving, because you can't be a leader if you don't. Because a leader, you work with a lot of people, and if you don't have a good heart, you're not sacrificing, then you're not a good leader. So don't forget today's topic. On our program, we are talking about two things, which is leadership and vision. There are some people out there, they have money, they have big businesses, but they don't have what we call vision. What is a vision, sir, if I may ask?
Frida, a vision is, like in the other words, there is vision. When you talk about vision, there is the sight, if you can visualize. You've heard of visualizing. Visual. So it's coming from this visual. So visual has to do with the seeing, from the Latin seeing. So when there's a vision is about seeing the future. Okay?
Yes.
So if you are a leader comes with a vision. And so the vision is about seeing where you are to where you are going.
Yes.
So if you don't have a vision, then you are blind. You see, so blind people, this is not to cast spurs on them, but blind people don't have a vision, the physical vision. Yes. So physical vision is they can't see because the eyes are closed. That's the blindness. Somebody who is blind, they don't see. They will just be either holding, feeling things to see where they're going, or they'll be led by someone. That's a blind person. They don't have vision. Yeah. So a person that has a vision is one that is able to see. Like you and me. You're looking at me. That is a vision. It's a visual. Your eyes are visualizing. You're able to see what is happening. That is vision. So in the same way, the vision is where now you're seeing, you are looking forward. You say, 1 year from now, where am I going? 2 years, where am I going? 3, 4, 5 years from now. Like this year is 2026, where I will be voting in August 13th. Zambia will vote. And so now, when we were in 2021, we had a vision to say, after 5 years, this is what will happen. Like the government had their vision, and each and every one of us as an individual, we all had vision. So 5 years has passed, or we are almost closing up on 5 years. So what have we done? Where have we been? So now we're giving ourselves again by the electoral system of Zambia of 5 years. So the next 5 years from 2026 to 2031, what is our goal? What is our vision? So now we begin to see that the next 5 years is going to be like this. No, even as an individual, then I have my vision to say 10 years from now, where must I be? So you're able to see, to visualize. So you're looking like an eagle.
Yes.
What is an eagle in Bemba? Kapumpe.
Something like that.
It's not a kapumpe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Eagle.
Tawasha kapumpe.
No.
It's an eagle. it sees. You know, an eagle would be high in the sky,
Yeah.
but then when it looks deep in the waters, it's able to see a fish. It will be a small fish like this, but eagle sees from up the sky. It sees the fish. It will descend quickly, go in the water, grab the fish, and come out quickly. Then it goes to kapumpe. Yes, it goes to eat. So when you have a vision, you are seeing at a distance. So you're seeing, like, even you as an individual, 2 years from now, what is it about Frida? What are you going to be? Or even today, you have a vision for the day to say, come 17 hours, what must I have done? So it's a vision that you have. So each and everyone has a vision. So a vision is a thing that leads you to where you are going.
Exactly.
It points you to where you are going. So in answer, that is what a vision is.
Wow, this is interesting. This is so much interesting. So, this topic is not just for big peoples. Like, what do I mean when I say big peoples? Like bosses, people with companies. No, it's for everyone. Even me right now here, I know I have something that I'm doing. I'm learning. I'm getting a lot. I'm learning a lot. We have been living in the world where you don't even understand who is a leader, what does leadership mean, what is a vision. So there are some people there, if you have your uncle, or your auntie, your brother, your sister, they have money and they've been misusing the money, just know that they don't have a vision. So what you can do to help them out, because we have tried people with money, some they are difficult tabafu okubasambirisha, and iyo yaisako ati, especially our parents, they like using this word that you're trying to teach them or to just tell them the right thing that you know, because even us young people, we know something because of twaliako ku school, twalisambirilako, and right now I'm learning. You're going to find that even maybe my parents, they don't know what you have just shared with me right now. So, dear viewers, to help them out understand who is a leader and what is a vision, what you can help them in the way that you can use, just share the link with them. They're going to watch the program and encourage them to watch the program. It will help them out. So, you know that uncle of yours, that brother, that sister, they have money and they have been misusing the money. Just know that tabakwata vision. Even if you don't have money right now, plan your life, which shows you have a vision. You know what you want to do in future. In the time that you're going to have money, it will be very much easier for you to fulfill your promises, your plans that you have planned already.
Yes, and just to comment there, Frida, like you are saying, a vision shapes someone's destiny.
Exactly.
When you have a vision, it helps you. You won't live like without, chibebebe,
Yes.
like where you niwe cheo muntu cheo waso chabe, you have something to live for. So as a person with a vision, you know where you are going.
Yes.
If say you are on the bus going to Chipata, and then there is another vehicle that comes to say, no, let's go to Livingstone. Will you come off that bus?
No.
No, because you know where you're going, isn't
Exactly.
it? So it shapes your destiny.
Yeah.
And even as you live in such a way that you feel like you're already there. When your mind is like you're going to go to the US or you're going to Europe, your mind is already there. Like now, when you're not even here. Physically, you're not there, but in the brain or in the spirit, you are there. You're even seeing this. So in the same way, when you have a vision, the vision takes you where you must be.
Yeah.
So you visualize yourself to say, tomorrow when I wake up, I want to be like this. I want to. So the vision, there's what is, long-term vision, and then there's a temporal vision, the short-term vision.
Yes.
So there's the long-term and short-term. So short-term vision is where you know that at 12 hours, nalali obwali. At 12 hours, of nshima. Then at 17 hours or 18, I'm going to have rice.
Okay.
At 21 hours, I'll be sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be watching a movie or I'll be sleeping. So these are short-term goals that you have, isn't it?
Yes.
So even after this show, after this show, there is something that I'll be doing.
Yeah.
So you have these short-term goals that you want to achieve, but then there are long-term goals that will be like next year. You as Frida, you're saying next year I want to do this. That's like a bit long term, but it may be short. So a longer term would be 5 years, 10 years. You have a long term vision, because in that vision you say maybe I have to build a house, I need to buy a car, I need to marry, I need to do what. So you have a vision that you put for yourself. I want my children in university. I want this for my daughter. I want this. So you have a vision. Even you're saying, okay, I want my parents or my mom to be like this. We want to build a house. We want to build a good business. So these are long-term, short-term visions that you have. So depending on, you talked about that uncle who wastes money or what. So if you are someone that has a vision, you know that when it can come on drama, let's use it like this. Mm-hmm. So these are short-term visions, and long-term, you're working as such. So I don't know if that is helping.
Very much. So dear viewers, thank you so much for staying tuned. At this particular time, we are going to call for a break. And just a quick one, if you know that you are planning of maybe starting up a business in future, na kwata kufia challenge ya business, this is the best and interesting topic that can help you out to grow your business or to grow you in some certain things that you are just doing. So dear viewers, for now we are going to call for a short break. Soon we'll be back. Stay tuned.
Greetings everyone, we are here again at Ilinda Ilepia. So today we have an opportunity to visit a store at downtown. It's called AWS Fashion Stores, and this is where we are right now. So this is AWS Fashion Stores, where they sell different kinds of clothing, men's clothing and women's clothing. There are jeans, t-shirts. We have these t-shirts. We also have Timberland t-shirts. These are very good t-shirts. We have all sorts of stuff. We have t-shirts on this side which are going at 75 kwacha only, and if you're getting 10, you get them at 650 pieces. I mean 650 kwacha for 10 pieces. Likewise, even these plain t-shirts, which are also going at 70 kwacha each and 650 for 10 pieces. These very good quality. You can print whatever you want there. And so we are located, like I said earlier, we are located in Lusaka at Downtown Mall, behind Choppies. You can reach us on 0573-567-554, also on 0971-958519, also on 0976-682540. We deliver countrywide using Platinum Courier Services, and also within Lusaka we use Yango delivery. We use Yango bikes for delivery.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching Teen Diaries.
Yeah, today let's get loud about something. About bullying. We deal with this on social media, in schools, and in our workplaces.
Take me deeper than my feet could ever.
Could you share your story in a circumstance where you will find yourself being bullied?
I was able to respond. I mean, you don't have to agree. Someone talks to you like, hey, you're too skinny, you're too fat. You don't need to agree with that situation.
So did you ever reach out to any of the supervisors in school, your principal? Did you ever reach out to anyone?
After like 1.5 years of doing that, my friend was like, this is too much, just stand your ground, tell them off.
It's like, don't always listen to what people say, because some people are just always so negative. Like, look at yourself, you're beautiful in the mirror. And I always used to go to my mirror and tell myself, no, I'm beautiful.
Teen Diaries, my heart unfolds, pages of fire, anything goes, laughing, crying, scars I hold. Teen Diaries, my soul is told. Teen Diaries, my heart.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching Teen Diaries.
Yeah, today let's get loud about something. About bullying. We deal with this on social media, in schools, and in our workplaces.
Take me deeper than my feet could ever.
Could you share your story in a circumstance where you will find yourself being bullied?
I was able to respond. I mean, you don't have to agree. Someone talks to you like, hey, you're too skinny, you're too fat. You don't need to agree with that situation.
So did you ever reach out to any of the supervisors in school, your principal? Did you ever reach out to anyone?
After like 1.5 years of doing that, my friend was like, this is too much, just stand your ground, tell them off.
It's like, don't always listen to what people say, because some people are just always so negative. Like, look at yourself, you're beautiful in the mirror. And I always used to go to my mirror and tell myself, no, I'm beautiful.
Teen Diaries, my heart unfolds, pages of fire, anything goes, laughing, crying, scars I hold. Teen Diaries, my soul is told.
You're still on the Light Breakfast right here on Light Television Zambia. My name is Martin Lutuna, playing host to a wonderful guest today, someone that many of you know has been an influential figure in the media space, and of course those of you that in those years listened or watched ZMBC is someone familiar. You listened to Radio Phoenix, is someone that whose voice you appreciated over the years, and now the founder, CEO, and manager of QTV, as well as QFM, in the name of Mr. Moses Nyama is here with us, and I mean, these are faces that you don't see, they work in the background, but we had an opportunity to bring him on, that those of you that have just been hearing about him, you get to see him and know him today. The man behind QFM and QTV is here with us. Mr. Nyama, welcome to Light Breakfast.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Wonderful.
That's right.
We're delighted that you could honor the invitation and come through to speak to our viewers.
The pleasure is mine.
Yeah. So for those that do not know you, if we ask, who is Mr. Nyama, with so much that you've done?
It's a long story, but I started off radio and television way back close to 30 years ago. And I was the first presenter who was employed at Radio Phoenix. I started Radio Phoenix those days together with the late Jack Kamuhuza. May he so rest in peace. Yes. And I worked at Radio Phoenix for about 4.5 years. I left, and then together, me and my brothers, we set up QFM. 8 years down the line, we set up QTV. Yeah, and this is where you are. QFM has been on air for the last 25 years.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time. And we're hoping that we can improve from where we are going forward.
I must say you're doing quite a lot. You've been an influential institution in the media space, QFM, QTV. How has been the journey in coming up this far, 25 years?
Media in Zambia in 1990, I think in 2000, when the MMD government opened up the airways to private sector to step into the industry. I think on the private side, the first station that went on air was Radio Phoenix. And then we came as the second station from Radio Phoenix. The situation was not the same the way it is today. I think at the time the government was fearing the unknown, in my personal opinion, because they couldn't issue licenses. They were rigid in terms of releasing licenses to private sector with fear of the unknown. But with time, things have evolved, things have changed, people have accepted the situation. And I think there's been, as you rightly said, there's been a lot of radio stations that have sprung up across the country, which has helped a lot of people who are doing radio and TV today. That's what I think, and otherwise it's something very interesting to do, and you really need to put your eyes on it, and you can get something going.
Wonderful indeed, wonderful indeed. Your leadership has inspired many. And now, talking about, you say 5 years ago, there is this QTV that came up, and now there's a wonderful project that QTV is doing. Maybe help us understand what this platform is all about.
Information is there, yes, and we're working on a huge project in the media space. I think more information will be given on that as we proceed in the next few weeks to come. We're looking forward to working with a lot of people like yourselves. I think it will be a totally new idea and new to this country, and we've invested a lot. We're looking forward to improving it as we go.
Wonderful. And so this is beneficial to the media houses?
Of course. I mean, it will be beneficial not only to the media houses. Like I said, a lot of information will be given out along the way. We might preempt what is being planned along the way, but I think it will affect people in the media space, people in the creatives, and so on.
Yes. So what has been challenges you having been in the media industry for this long? What must you say to the upcomings, and what not some challenges that they must look out for?
I think that in every business space, it's very important for you to have a grip and understanding of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. And that's the main space in anything that you're going to do. If you're going to understand the business you want to do in a certain manner from A to Z, and you have the understanding of it, you know what you're supposed to do, things become easy. When you're planning a business on in the planning stages and when it's running, are two different things. When it begins to run, everything goes into force. The wheels begin to turn, bills begin to run. So all those things need to be managed. And it's important for you to manage those aspects of the business for the business to keep going and to keep growing.
That's right. And how do we see Q Online, is it QTV, QFM in the next 5-10 years? Where do we see ourselves?
There's a lot, in my opinion, from what I see, there's a lot of advancement in technology today compared to 5-10 years ago. And I think there will be a very huge shift in terms of how people will consume information. It won't be the same anymore, in my opinion. And I think as people in the industry, we need to begin to think about that. We need to begin to think about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how will things look like? And what is it that we can invest today so that when that time comes, you remain afloat? Because in my personal opinion, I think that people are not consuming information the way they used to 10 years ago. So it is important that we begin to think in that space. And there's AI now. There's a lot of advancement.
Of course, my question would be, how do we incorporate AI as media institutions? How do we work with AI?
Well, there's been a lot of talk that AI is going to take over jobs from a lot of people. But I think that it is the people who are not going to abreast themselves with AI who are going to have a problem. AI is here to stay, whether you want it or not, whether you talk about it or not. And it's definitely going to change a lot of things in the way we do things. And because that change will come, it is important for ourselves to begin to understand what sort of tools we can use in that space to improve what we are doing, and see how we can keep our listenership afloat in terms of what we're giving out to them. That's
Wonderful,
what I think.
wonderful. That's so you encourage each and everyone to abreast themselves with the AI system.
That's right. I
So
mean,
it
it's moving very fast. Technology in the last few years has skyrocketed, and it has moved too fast. And if we don't pay attention to that, we're definitely going to have a problem. So it's important that we begin to think differently about the kind of technology we are going to use, the kind of... I mean, I'll tell you something. In Portugal, there's a radio station that is 100% driven by presenters who are AI. You can imagine that. So that space, we are right inside that space. And like I'm saying, it's about thinking about the future and how we can improve what we're trying to do.
Wonderful indeed. Now, looking from where we're coming from as media, there's been, is it in terms of regulation, self-regulation, is it press freedom and whatnot? Do you see any shift that has happened from before and where we are? Is the media now in a place where it can freely thrive based on what is on the ground?
Well, I've read and I've heard that the president himself has clearly made it very clear to say that no radio station will be closed under his watch. And that in itself, in my opinion, gives us an opportunity as media people in the media space to begin to be responsible in what we're doing and to deliver the information that we think will be able to build in what we are trying to deliver, whether it's we are targeting the youth, whether we are targeting people in agriculture, in different sectors of our economy. And I think it's important that we look at ideas that can build the masses out there and also be conscious in what we are trying to deliver out there. That's what I think
maybe
is
the question would be, what's the role of media in a nation like this?
Of course, the main thing is to inform, to educate, and keep people abreast on what's happening around. And that now encompasses a lot of sectors within what we do every day. And it's about improving people's lives as well. People have to learn. Some people out there do not have information on certain things. When news breaks, people rely on us to give them the actual accurate news, who said what, and what is expected to happen.
People relying on us, and now there are so many. Is it someone will be blogging? Is it there are so many journalists out there that haven't been trained, and as long as someone has a phone, and how do we keep the pace as media to say we are the ones that are breaking the news, and when someone out there is doing what must we be doing as media?
I think there is still a very big difference in terms of what a blogger would do and what a media institution like this one would do. You are working with certain guidelines in place. We are working under the umbrella of the IBA today in this country, and I think that there are a lot of guidelines that have been given to all of us to follow in terms of how we should manage ourselves. But in that space, it's also very different. Like I'm saying, like I said earlier on in my preamble, I talked about AI. I talked about the way the media has evolved over time. That is part of what is happening. And whether we want it or not, it's here to stay. And we also have to begin to think of how can we adjust ourselves in terms of to remain abreast, because whether we want it or not, the same people who are online are also being followed by a certain audience. So I think it's about being creative in the mind and seeing how we can improve what we are doing every day. I think that's the most important thing.
Mr. Nyama, you did talk about informing, educating, and entertaining for the media, and so you find that at the time there is labeling that happens, that certain media houses are labeled to say they belong here, they belong there. What must we be doing as media so we are not labeled?
I think the bottom line is being professional, and not only that, also knowing that the future does not end here. We are looking at being around whether you are aligned or you're not aligned. And we need to begin to look at the future and how do we manage the future itself. I think that's the most important thing for all of us in the space of the media. Things like that will always be there. We all think differently, we all handle things differently, but I think that the most important thing we should be looking at, or we should be thinking about, is how can we inform the public with accurate news and ensure that we are delivering the information that the public is expecting us to deliver at any given time. When a media institution aligns itself, it just becomes a problem right from the word go, because there'll be a time when you won't be aligned to a particular party, or when it comes to politics and things like that. So I think those are the issues that we need to begin to look at, and look at the future as well.
Wonderful indeed. Now, there's a training that we attended with Zamcom on the electoral reporting and whatnot. And one of the things that were highlighted in there is that many times there's compromise from media, because the journalists are not well paid and whatnot, so they end up being compromised because they don't. Does the media have support enough to make sure that all these are taken care of, that we not end up being aligned because we've done what we can?
Well, I think every media institution in this country has got its own guidelines in terms of their policies within the media institution, just like this one. And I want to believe that it is about you understanding what you're doing. That's the first point. The second point is the issue of ensuring that the model that you have taken in terms of the format of the station works with the public. Because when it works with the public, you'll be able to sustain yourselves in terms of running the operations of the stations. I understand and I know that it hasn't been easy in the last few years with the advancement of technology. Not only that, there's also a drop in revenue, more especially in the television space, in terms of the way these stations should be able to operate. But I think the bottom line is understanding your format, understanding your idea, understanding your concept, and understanding what you need to do. If you understand, you'll be able to make certain decisions that will be able to help you move forward in terms of what you're doing.
So it's about understanding yourselves. It's not about what the next door media is doing and whatnot. So
absolutely,
it's about who
absolutely.
We are.
It's like at home.
Define yourselves.
It's like at home. You keep looking in the neighbor's yard every day. What are you going to get? You don't know what they're doing. So I think what is important is to ensure that we do the right thing ourselves. Not only that, we also understand the format that we've carried out to the public. What format? I think as a country and as a media industry, we've reached a stage where people begin to think about, it's not just starting a television station, it's not just about starting a radio station, it's about starting it and understanding what sort of format that you want to run. You see what I mean? When you go to certain countries, you find stations that just do talk radio. You understand the point? And you find certain stations like ourselves, we're specializing in music, and we understand that aspect very well. We do it in a way that works for us. So it's about you or any individual who is trying to invest into the industry to understand all those aspects. When you understand them, it becomes easy to operate. When you don't understand them, you're definitely going to have challenges, because along the way, certain decisions you make won't align with what is happening around.
Correct. That said, is the media united in Zambia? Are we speaking similar to, or are we? Do we see that cohesion as a media? So, or is each one for themselves, IBF or us, or what? How do you rate ourselves?
Well, I think the communities are there. There's MOAS now, which is trying to help get everybody together and get involved. I hope we can manage to get that there where we're expecting to. And there are so many radio stations. The last time I checked, I think the whole country, IBA has issued close to 160 radio stations across the country. And that's a huge number. And also difficult to manage as well. So the country is quite wide as well. All those aspects are in one, and I think it's important that as broadcasters we begin to come together and begin to push towards one direction so that we achieve the goal that the broadcasters would want to see in the future.
As the fourth estate, do you think we're doing enough as a media in addressing the nation and making sure that we provide governance as needed?
I think that we are. There's always room for improvement in everything that we do every day. And because of things that are evolving and changing every day, we have to adapt to that. And I think there's always room for improvement every day in terms of what we can deliver out there. That's right.
Wonderful, wonderful. Where do we see ourselves as a nation, or is it media in Zambia come next 5 years? Where do we see ourselves?
I think there will be a lot of change in terms of, one, how people consume information, how people access television, how people access radio. Like I said, I talked a lot about the shift that is going on in terms of the in the digital space. And I think 5 years there will be a huge change in terms of what is happening currently. I mean, today, if you are on the streets, you're able to follow news using your mobile gadget. Everything will come there, videos will come, you'll be able to see. You don't need to wait for 19 hours or 20 hours to watch the news. So everything is on time and everything is moving according to plan. And because of that and because of the way things are moving, it is very important that we begin to understand all those aspects and begin to look at the question you're asking 5 years from now, where are we going to sit? But I think that there will be a huge change and a huge shift in terms of the way people consume information.
And of course, there has been a dynamic shift in terms of gone are those days when people used to be glued to a TV station, or is it where they but life has transitioned, as it were. So now, what should be our plan as media to make sure that we touch each and everyone? What must we be doing so that even as we talk about 5 years, 6 years from now, how do we position ourselves as a media?
I think that the major thing that we should be looking at is the shift that we're talking about. It's real, it's happening, and it's here to stay, and it's unstoppable. And because of that, we need to begin to think in that space. We need to begin to think differently. We need to hold back and say, hey, wait a minute, what are we doing? What is it that we should be investing in? What is it that we should be doing? All those aspects should be looked at. Like you said, it's very rare that you would go home and sit in front of a television on your wall and begin to watch TV because of the way things have evolved over time. And because of that, even ourselves, we need to be thinking, how do we get there? Those are some of the ideas that should be able to pop up along the way. So I think that because of the shift that is happening in the industry across the globe, and this is happening across the globe, it's not sparing anybody. I mean, I'll give you a very good example. You remember when the young man Speed came into the country, he was going from one African country to the other. Look at the following that was following him in real time. 80 million people across the globe. And when you look at those numbers, they're way above a traditional media. You see what I mean? And that's the shift that I'm talking about. And whether we say he is doing something that is not scripted, the fact is that the people are following him. Just that gives it a shift. You see what I mean?
Maybe we should be as well targeting these network providers, that there be internet in each and every part of the country, then so that our presence is felt there. Because many times you find there are places where we we can't be accessed due to limitation of is it bandwidth or something. So maybe there has to be a lot of investment. Do you think we should be working with these?
Of course, yes. It's always important. The mobile networks have evolved in terms of how their services are delivered as well. And they're looking at, I'm sure, investments are still going every day. I know Zicta has stepped in as well to try and increase the tower spaces in certain areas where connectivity is a very big challenge. That has always been a very big problem. Data is the key now. Every home, you need data to be in the house and should be unlimited data. And how can we improve in what we're doing? And all that evolves in the shift that we're talking about. And like I'm saying, there should always be investment. You've made mention of some areas not having very good network in certain parts of this country. And I think it's important that we begin to think about the networks, begin to think about how can they invest in those areas? And it also becomes a challenge because they're also looking at the business aspect of it. But I know that Zicta has stepped in, and in certain areas they are investing so that networks can just get their service going in those areas. You can't compare the way internet penetration has been in the last 2 years to now. There's been a very, very big difference. Starlink has come in, you're able to have internet on the go. So all those aspects are changing the way we do things, the way we are supposed to be doing things, in my opinion.
Mr. Nyama, I must say that you've stood out as QFM, as at QTV, knowing who you are. And so what would be your encouragement to a media house out there that maybe of a goal of outshining another? Or is it since the audience is so huge that, but then you've stood out for 25 years, you haven't been competing. You're unique in the way you do your modern thing as QFM and QTV. You've stood a time like you've been in your own lane. So what encouragement would you give to a media house out there that they don't aim at outshining another, but stay in their lane without confusion?
I think that it's not about outshining. It's about you concentrating on your idea, you concentrating on the business itself. And when you concentrate and you get your concept and idea correctly, the result will show to the public. I always, when we're in meetings with my presenters, I always tell them, when you are on radio, the only tool that you have is your voice. Okay? Can you play around with your voice in the best possible way so that you reach out the masses? You've got the power in doing what you're doing, and you've got your space. The fact is, what is your style? How will people listen to you? I remember when I was on radio so many years ago, it was very different then. I did about 4.5 years at Radio Phoenix. At QFM, it was starting. I did the breakfast show, I think, close to a year. And it was fun to do that. It was my time, and I think I did all I can within my power. And I think I can still do it even now. I do it once in a while when I feel like I want to do radio. I go on radio and I still do what I think I love to do. I love music, and I've got a huge collection in the 90s music. Now we have even digitalized it, which is perfect. And I think the presenters should be able to do their research properly. I also notice at times situations where, because this time around the aspect of the way we used to research and the way presenters of today are researching two different things. We used to sit down, research by reading a newspaper, reading a magazine, collecting that information and getting it to radio. Not only that, also researching on the aspect of music. But this time around, I'll give an example of ourselves. There's a guy who is sitting in the office and is pushing in the latest music onto the system. You see what I mean? So as presenters come on air, they find, okay, there's a new song by Chris Brown. This is the way it's sounding like. You see what I mean? But I think there's got to be more research to understand who is Chris Brown. What does he do? What did he do before that? I think those are some of the aspects that people would want to listen to and want to understand what is happening
Maybe
in that space.
AI has influenced.
Well, that has also influenced. Information has become on our fingertips. You can quickly search for information on your phone and you have it all. And I think it's about not outshining everybody. Both the media institutions and the presenters should be looking at how can I improve what I am doing.
Correct.
When you improve what you are doing, we'll be able to notice you. You'll be able to notice to say at ABCD there's ABCD.
Mr. Nyama, your closing remarks.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been a great opportunity. It's been a long time when I was on TV, but it's good to be here. And good morning to all the viewers. And it's wonderful that you invited me along and just to chit chat about the media and what's happening in the space.
Wonderful. There you have it, dear viewers. I was chatting with Mr. Moses Nyama, the CEO and founder of QTV, QFM. He was here to help us understand media leadership and whatnot. So until next time, I've been your host, Martin Lutuna. Bye-bye for now.